Hey YouTube, this is Jam and Eggs coming to you today. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a long time since I came to you all. I can't even remember the last time I did a video, but I was super busy this past year. Um, I went back to school after I left school and graduated. What I did is actually did the LPN program, and then I merged back in and I did the RN program. So I'll do another video later on LPN RN bridge programs. But this program, excuse me, this particular um, semester was focused on med surge and pediatrics for my course. I wanted to come to you all today to help those people that they're going to have problems with pediatrics. I finally got my grade Friday, and today's Monday, and I passed. Thank God I'm over it. So I wanted to come to you all to help those people that have problems or questions with pediatrics. And I did YouTube videos on it, and I didn't see anything that specifically had pediatrics. So I hope this helps someone. So first off, this will be, I guess, titled the 10 pediatric success tips, something like that. But I have 10 tips. So number one tip is buy your textbook recommendations. So for myself, we had to do Wong's, and this is Nursing Care of Infants and Children, and this one is the 9th edition. So we had this one. Along with that, we had a clinical manual of pediatric nursing, and then we also had the pediatric drug consult. So this is the drug book. So with that being said, you can either go ahead and buy just the main book, or you can do the packet. I chose to do the packet because I was told that it will help out tremendously. So I know one of my classmates didn't buy like the clinical manual until like mid-semester. So she kept saying, "What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about?" So you want to be prepared ahead of time. They don't sit here and put these books up there for you to buy just to be like, "Oh, we're gonna take your money." Like, they actually have it up there for a reason. Okay. So tip number 2 is to be prepared before you go to class. So you need to do your readings. So you see all that is readings. So for example, I'm gonna show you something. Like when I say you need to do your reading, you need to, be prepared. Like stuff like this. You see how that's all highlighted and marked up, and I've written in there. You need to be prepared for class. So you don't want to go in there and just be like looking dumb and stuck. That's not the way to go. So with that being said, tip number 3 is note taking. Now, note taking, everybody is different. For myself, I can show you my note, and this is my notebook, and I am very organized in a sense of I have it numerically. But note taking, for us, they gave us like bullet points that were main things they wanted us to focus on. So for myself, like, we have PowerPoints. So I have PowerPoints, and if I have questions out of my note takings as I was reading, I will put sticky stuff here for whatever questions that I have. But my own personal note taking, I have this. So I will have stuff that I have written myself. So it's a very tedious thing. So highlighting, So you want to make sure that you take good notes, not just in class, but also you want to take good notes as you're reading. Because this goes into number 4. Say hypothetically you have questions, you have concerns, you're angry. I know for my class, we had a lot of people that what you consider group think, where they all sat around in a group. One person started the fire, and then just people just continuously initiated in the conversation, and it just got really, really bad. So the teacher felt like ganged up on, and I had to step back, and I personally went to the teacher and I say, I need help. I'm not doing really well right now. Apparently something is not clicking, and I'm not that type of student where I don't get good grades. Like, I try my best. I mean, like, really, really hard. So I wanted to know, what could I do better? So I went to her. I made an appointment. Said, but I had to go home and do the work. So I went home. I read. I highlighted. I written down questions that I had. And something that really helped me out is like these stickies. Now I got these stickies. Take that off. I got these stickies. When I went to Dave and Buster's, I want them. And me being the nerd that I am, I absolutely adore them. So they come in different sizes and colors, as you can see. And I use a lot of these for like the sides, like to mark side of the papers. I use mostly this for when I was in with the teacher, and the teacher brought up a good idea, and I would write it down. So this really helped me out when I know, you can buy these individually at your local Staples, Office Depot, whatever. But these help. But not just that, your highlighters. Your highlighters are important. Like, you will think like, oh yeah, these are simple things, but you'd be surprised how many people of my classmates I see, they don't have these things, and they don't take these things serious. Sharpies are my best friend. I will mark a page up. I will highlight, and I will highlight again. Very important information. Also, as you saw, I had these type of posters. These are like the transparent ones, so I can write on them. See, so you just pull them up. These helped out a great deal. I had these ones before I had this, but I used both of them because, like I said, it depends what I was using it for. This is just my way of thinking, but you have to have some type of way of a good note-taking thing. So while you in there with the teacher, you want to be prepared. You want to be prepared with the questions and, possibly answers, because a lot of times teachers will combat you with a question. It drives you crazy. It drives me crazy. But they're helping you to critically think. So I would recommend you most definitely being prepared and know your stuff. You just can't be walking in and thinking that you're going to get a personal one-on-one type of training. It's not going to work. So be prepared. Number 5. This is going back to, similar to what I was saying. Do not be afraid to mark up your book. This is your book. You pay money for it. Unless you're trying to trade it in or, get money back. In which a lot of times, me personally, I don't give up my books, because I believe nursing books, no matter what field of nursing you want to go into, you never do know when you need to reference something. So me personally, I don't see myself giving up any of my nursing books. The only nursing book I don't have personally is my OB, because I borrowed it from a friend. And I know I'm going to have to buy my own OB book later on, because maybe that's one of the directions I want to go to. But this, most definitely, I know I'm going into pediatrics later, so I have no problem marking up my book. But if some people, like I said, they're hardly marked up their book, and I don't see how they didn't learn anything. Like, you have to highlight something. You have to take some good notes in order to really comprehend and understand what are you doing and what are you talking about. So don't be afraid to mess up the pretty book. Like, that's what it's there for. So put all your stickies that you need to, highlight. See, this is where that Sharpie come into play. Then I put stars next to stuff. I highlight, like, I was into it. And this is where, like, I use, like, the arrow ones. So, like, for example, that one say, discuss for understanding and, like, developmental stages. So, that's something that I either did for myself or when I went in with the professor, I had questions. Something also that I had, and I bought this just for myself because, like I said, I know I'm going to be using my pediatric book later on. But I bought the study guide. So if your book comes with a study guide, the study guide is great. So I'll come back to this in a minute. Number 6, your drug cards. Please, this is just common sense. Do not try to write, like, when you're in clinicals or even when you're in class, please do not try to write your drug cards on just a regular piece of paper. Like, you actually need to have a drug card. They have them where you have the index cards, where it's the index card holder. My mom gave me one. Perfect. Works. Or when I'm at clinical, what I'll do, I just use one of these, a binder clip, and I'll just, hold, because I keep a certain amount of drug cards with me, and I'll just hold those with the binder clip, and those fit perfectly in my pocket for clinical. But when I need all of those drug cards, then most definitely I will put them in my drug card holder, basically the index card holder. But one thing I will most definitely recommend is that when you're experiencing any type of new drug, unless you a pharmacology major or something that switched over to RN, I would really recommend you getting into your drug cards. So, like I said, this is my pediatric drug book, and this one is a little bit different because they base it on class, not alphabetically or anything. So, like, for example, it's like cardiovascular agent. I hope you all can see that. Let me see, like non-narcotic, analgesics, like stuff like that. So this drug book was pretty cool, but I mean, it always have a index in the back. And what's different that most people get confused with pediatric. Pediatric, you gotta remember, is based on the weight of the child. It's not based on, oh, this is just a regular norm, or maybe the reasoning. This is based on the reasoning, a normal, and weight. So it's very, very, very important that you check and double check yourself and know your drugs, because pediatrics is a world of its own. So that's that. Next, know your growth and development. Growth and development is number one. I have made the mistake of not reference it in studying it every exam, before every exam. Growth and development is one of those things where it's like, I learned it first exam, okay, it's not going to come back. It's going to come back. It comes back in everything that you do for pediatrics. So you're going to know your Erickson, you're going to have to know your Piaget, you're going to have to know your Freud and your Kohlberg. Like, get into it. Write it out every day if you need to. Like, reference it when you're on the bus, on the train. Like, you really need to know, because a lot of times in your care and your reaction and your teaching is based on development. And as a nurse, you need to recognize what is normal and what is not normal. So please know your growth and development. It's very essential. All right, number 8. Something that is very important, as always, not just in pediatric, but any class, is study groups. But the difference with pediatric study groups is that you really need to have a thorough base. Like, you need to have people that are strong and weak. Now, what I mean by that is that you need those people that are really good in a subject. So, for example, I am good at I would say cardio, like cardiac. Um, my weakness, I will say, is pulmonary system. Um, and I can't think of another weakness. Maybe some parts of the GI system, but um, cardiac, I'm pretty good at. So, because I have that knowledge, when I go in there, I can learn. I can learn from those people that might be better at the pulmonary system, or those people that are better with the GI system. That way, we're actually educating one another. We're teaching each other the material in a like layman's term type of deal. Like we reference things to every day. And it's crazy how you can learn, but you remember. Just like how you sign on here and watch YouTube and people give you demonstrations and they say, oh yeah, you do this and you remember this. Like something that a teacher of mine explained to me that helped with congestive heart failure is having a flood in the basement and backing up pipes and all, where's the water going to go? It's going to, go out. And that's how you have edema. You just have fluid in the basement. So you have to suck it up. So how are you going to suck it up? Bam, you have diuretics. Like stuff like that. She put that in my head that helped. Clog up the pipe. So therefore, how are you going to get the pipes going again if it has got too much? So all of that, like her using just layman terms, help people understand a thing called congestive heart failure. So with a study group, you have to have people that are good in a subject or body system, and so they also are weak, but they also have to be very focused and not just like, oh, we want to sit here and party and play and chit chat. Have your time. Maybe knock it out for 50 minutes straight. That's what we did. Knock it out for 50 minutes straight. Take a 10 to 15-minute break and then get back at it. So you just can't play around with it. Alright, number 9, very important thing is the NCLEX Prep. This is the Lippincott's NCLEX Prep that I bought. And this one I like pretty much because this not just breaks down adult, med-surg, or whatever, but it also breaks down pediatric, but it also breaks down per system or per disease. So I think this is, pretty nice. I just bought it, so I really haven't gotten to it, but I did use it for my pediatric portion, and it did help. So it actually helps you prepare not just for exams, but prepare your mind for critical thinking, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I know this, but wait a minute, why is this so? And it makes you basically explore more in order for you to understand even better and more in depth. So get an NCLEX Prep book, please, but with a lot of questions, CD-ROMs, and possibly online sources. Now, last but not least, but the most important thing of it all. You gotta pray. You have to pray. Now, no offense to anybody that is not, does not believe in God or believe in Christ. I personally believe in God and Christ. So, this is my reference. But I also do have a planner. And in my planner, it's a biblically based planner that I bought from my family Christian bookstore. It's just called Christian Family Bookstore. That's the name of the store. But from there, I bought the planner. And in the planner, it has stuff that has like my priorities, what I need to pray for the week. It has AM and PM, but it also have like notes and but at the top, the most important thing is that it have biblically based quotes So that encouraged me for the week, but also had a Bible scripture. So for me personally, like sometimes I just ignored it, and then other times it's like it just something told me to look at it, and it's just like wow, I needed that. But also I prayed before I did my exams. I prayed when I didn't feel comfortable. Like pediatrics really moved me out my comfort zone. I thought I was prepared for it, but it really made me react differently and see nursing differently. So, with that being said, I really had to pray a lot more. Nursing school will make you pray to whomever that you pray to a lot more. So, I relied on church, on my Bible, just me, just simply just praying, me crying, whatever. Whenever I was weak, as long as I had faith of a mustard seed, I prayed. So, those are your 10 top successful ways of passing pediatrics in nursing. So, I hope this helped. Please, if you have any questions, let me know. Um, I'm going to try to put my email in the box where that's going to be. And if you want to personally email me, that's fine. Um, Also, please rate, comment, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for rocking with me. God bless you.